On January 20th, 2025 at 11:15 in the morning, a person named David Morrow was sitting on his apartment balcony enjoying views of the Pacific Ocean. As always, it was a normal day. Meanwhile, about 5 miles away from his apartment, on the hills of Pacific Palisades, he sees a fire with blazing sparks. Within just 1 hour, the fire spread so much that the smoke completely covered the mountain. If seen from the satellite view, this fire was first reported on the Palisades Mountains, but after a few hours, it spread to the areas of Eaton, Hearst, Kenneth, Getty, Skirball, and San Fernando. At the time the fire started, winds at 100 kilometers per hour were blowing in the direction from inland toward the ocean. Now the question arises, if the fire first started in Pacific Palisades, which is very close to the ocean, then how did it spread 30 to 40 kilometers in the opposite direction of the wind? Once again,
Viewers, this fire has devastated a total area of 38,000 acres or 150 square kilometers. More than 12,000 buildings and homes have been destroyed and 180,000 people have left their homes. This is the most devastating fire in the history of Los Angeles, which still has not been fully extinguished during the production of this video. Every possible effort to put out the fire seems to be failing. Water bombers are dropping 45,000 liters of water at a time, which seem like mere drops in the face of this fire. Special chemicals are also being dropped with the help of water bombers, but all efforts seem futile in the face of nature. Data plane, California, where there is already a shortage of water, often leaving fire hydrants empty and spreading across different areas, has also divided the firefighters and their equipment. On top of that, when winds at 70 to 100 kilometers per hour hit the fire, it flared up even more. Before understanding the actual reason for the spread of the Los Angeles wildfire, let's see how many times wildfires have struck California before. Looking at data from the past 25 years, California has been in the grip of wildfires. In the year 2003, the Cedar Fire in San Diego County attacked 273,000 acres. The fire that flared up on October 25th was extinguished on November 4th, 2003. In the year 2017, the Tubbs Fire burned 36,000 acres and it also occurred in the month of October. Again in 2017, Thomas Fire turned 280,000 acres to ash. This fire started in December and ended in January. On the 8th of November 2018, the Camp Fire burned 150,000 acres and ended on the 25th of November after 17 days. Similarly, in 2020, the Glass Fire attacked 67,000 acres and it also started in September and ended in October after a whole month. If we consider the dates of all these wildfires, one thing is very common, which is winter. This means these wildfires have occurred in the winter months, and even the Los Angeles wildfire happened during peak winter. So what is the reason that most wildfires in California's history have occurred only in winter? The answer to this question lies in a phenomenon called Santa Ana winds. Yes, Santa Ana winds are hot and dry winds that blow in Southern California and Baja California, especially during autumn and winters. If you look on Google Earth, in the east of California there is just desert, which is called the Mojave Desert or the Great Basin. The sun's heat warms the desert, causing the air pressure to increase. On the other hand, talking about the ocean, the air here is cool and the pressure is low. We learned in 6th grade that air travels from high pressure to low pressure. The greater the pressure difference, the faster the air will travel. Something similar happens here as the Santa Ana winds rapidly move from southeast California towards the ocean. These dry and hot winds absorb the moisture from wherever they pass, resulting in this entire region becomes dry in this season and the bushes and trees dry out completely, making them highly prone to catching fire easily. Santa Ana winds turn entire forests into fuel for wildfires, and if a fire accidentally starts, the strong winds further ignite it. Burning embers spread rapidly, and in the blink of an eye, the wildfire gets out of control. Now, ideally, the wildfire should spread in the same direction as the wind, but in the case of Los Angeles, the opposite was observed. The fire was first seen near the Palisades, which is close to the ocean, and later it spread to inland areas. To understand why this happens, we need to understand an interesting phenomenon called the mountain view rotor. The side of the mountain where the wind hits directly is called the windward side, and the other side of the mountain where the wind needs to go is called the leeward side. What happens is that when the windward side stops the wind, a vortex effect is created on the leeward side, and in this vortex the wind keeps swirling around. This means that above the mountain the wind direction is in one direction, whereas below the mountain the wind direction is in the opposite direction. In the case of Los Angeles, this phenomenon plays a significant role as well. The Palisades, where the fire was first reported, is the leeward side, and here, due to the mountain view rotor, the wind generated in the opposite direction from the mountain peak downward, which became the main reason for spreading the fire to the inland areas. Once a wildfire grows significantly, it gives rise to several strange phenomena. Some phenomena that are very difficult to predict include a fire tornado. This is a rare and dangerous phenomenon that occurs during intense wildfires. It is like a tornado, but it contains only fire and heat. The incredible heat generated by a wildfire immediately hits the surrounding air and pulls it upward. Due to the heat, the hot air rises rapidly upward and cool air from below comes to fill the space. This updraft creates a rotational motion that pulls nearby dry shrubs into the fire tornado, making the vortex even more terrifying. Now, this fire tornado dominates the wind in the area and starts generating its own air. It is very difficult to determine its direction, but mostly there are chances that it will drive the wildfire uphill along the mountain. Wildfires are a reality, and due to climate change, they will occur more frequently in the coming years. The United States also has the latest technology to control wildfires. First, infrared cameras are used to get real-time data on the temperature of the wildfire and its spread. Satellites are used to monitor the size and location of the fire. Nowadays, with the help of artificial intelligence, the direction of the fire spread is also predicted, and then all this information is conveyed to the firefighters. Firefighters try to spray chemicals around the area where the fire is to prevent it from spreading too much. But in Los Angeles, by the time firefighters control the fire in one area, it spreads to another place through the air. The first recorded wildfire in American history occurred near Michigan in the year 1871. This wildfire consumed 1,200,000 acres and claimed 2,500 lives. From the Peshtigo fire of 1871 to today's Los Angeles wildfires, nature is indicating to us that controlling fire is still nearly impossible. But if we try to understand nature and adapt to climate change, instead of fighting it, then maybe the series of wildfires can't stop again. We hope you will also like and share this video